However, I can tell you, I would not have lost, potentially would not have lost 2 different matchups if I would have been playing the health game champion. I wouldn't have lost the McBombus one at all.
Dude,
I think the problem with flooding is the only wild champion that can not lose from flooding is Shoku, because the reason why Wild Diamond Banks is good is because even if you're drawing a lot of shards, you can still reanimate something in your crypt. But like Grandfather Elk and Running Deer, those are not champions that say if I flood out, I'm gonna be okay.
No, I understand, but those both games I would have won. I wouldn't have won Eagle off. That was a loss no matter what. But McBombus, that game, I would have won both matches against McBombus because he literally dumped his hand to kill me. And
that deck has large sources of permanent damage. Like gaining 5 life when there's a Mama Yeti out doesn't do anything. Gaining 5 life when he has flickering gobblers doesn't do anything.
He didn't have flickering gobbler out. Those aren't what killed me.
It's like it gives you a draw step.
It gives me 2 turns.
Instead of letting yourself trying to live, you should be trying to win. And
I understand. I completely understand, 100%. But I just want to let you know, those two, playing that champion, I would not have lost those 2 matches. Maybe that was one-off. I agree. It's possible this all could be one-offs we're talking about here.
I refuse. I don't think you would have won even if you had the game life champion.
I had lethal, and he had nothing he could do. The only thing he could do is attack my fucking health horse because I had guard on board. That was it. I had lethal. It was literally, he could kill me that turn, or he couldn't, and he could. And that health gain would have prevented that both games. I didn't have the guard the second game, but it still would have prevented that. I don't know if it would have made him play differently. That might have changed things, but it would have bought me some turns. Because I would have gained 10 health in both those matches, and 10 health against McBombus, unless they're playing Flickering. I agree, Flickering Gobbler is probably not a good idea. And that's why I also believe you should be able to sideboard fucking champions. You shouldn't be locked in the champion you picked. Because if you could sideboard, I can tell you for a fact, against McBombus, I would sideboard that. Unless they're playing Flickering Gobbler. Then it really doesn't matter. But I mean, like I said, it's really just situational, and I got fucked over. So it's like, if you get fucked over, you get fucked over. The thing is, it's just when you get fucked over with Running Deer, it's like you have an out.
Well,
no, it's good. It's still got its weaknesses, dude. I'm telling you. Even with this deck, dude, turn 4, turn 5, if you draw 4 fucking shards, you're done. Well, I don't think there's a deck you can come back.
The deck he's facing is pretty crazy.
Unless you have a champion. There's certain champions that you can play where if you flood out, it doesn't matter.
I think if you have the board state, you're right about the Shoku deck. Wouldn't be a big deal, but having that board state and having the cards already, like Pesky, there's some important combos in Pesky not being removed.
But there's not combos. I don't understand what you like. I don't know. All right, I'm not trying to be rude. I just don't understand all the points that you're saying against the deck. I understand. I actually do think there's some things that can be improved with the deck, but when it comes to mono wild decks, not only does the deck have the best champion that you can have, because it's the only mono wild champion that basically makes it so when you flood out, you're not just dead, and it plays basically all 4 of them, so it's definitely super consistent and super tuned.
I guess maybe I should have recorded what I played. Maybe I'll play it and record what I'm talking about, and I'll just show you in points. If it ever happens again, when you play 8 games where you have to mulligan all 8 hands, the start, it's playing the exact copy. Maybe that's just bad luck, but 8 games in a row is almost like a consistency issue in my point of view. Granted, I did still win 3 or 4 of those games anyways, but that's my problem with it. Now, if I didn't have done that, I agree. So maybe it was RNG, and maybe it just would never happen again if I played it. But I'm willing to try it again. I mean, if you think it's great, I'll try it. I'll try a deck list out. I'll do it. I'll record the matches, and then if I think it's shit, I'll fucking just upload a video to YouTube and go point by point why I thought it was shit based on my experience of playing it. And then you could go counter with. I really think that's probably the only way I'm going to learn how it's good. When I play 8 games and it's bad.
Hexed Havoc is 6-1.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Like, I'm not top 8. There's no way. Like, so, like, unless everybody went like 5-2. So this kind of sucks. But yeah, I mean, like, if you played, what deck have you ever played? 8 matches, you were pretty fucked right from the get go. Have you ever played a deck like that in a row? I'm not even talking like different days or different times. I'm talking literally in a row, playing ladder.
Wow.
But Wizard, you hear what I'm saying, right? Like a deck that you played eight different turns, and in the series that I'm playing, like you would feel like a little burnt by it. I mean, it could be RNG, but like you just kind of have that bad taste in your mouth about it.
I feel like you just got unlucky because I've never had that ever happen to me with this deck.
And I think it's the exact opposite with you, and that's why I'm like, I can't say it's terrible, and I'm never going to be able to convince you. But I feel like if I record my gameplay and what I'm talking about, and you see it, I think you would understand. Like if I recorded 8 matches in a row, consecutively losing because of fucking shard screw in the beginning, either too many shards, like the whole hand being shards, or the whole hand not being shards. Mostly not shards. I had to mulligan for it. Because I feel like you're even thinking that, well, you probably mulliganed hands you could have kept. But like really, they weren't hands. They weren't. And I can't prove it to you. There's nothing I can do because I know you're high level and you disregard me as a player probably. So you're not thinking that I would have like mulled the right hand. Until I build that trust with you where you think I'm a good player, you're probably going to discard everything I say unless I show you it. So I'll probably just record it because I want it to be good too. I'd love it to work because I love the idea of it. I'll just have to record it. It works. I shut up or I show you what I'm talking about. And then you tell me if I made mistakes. That's the only way this argument would probably ever end, if that makes sense.
Sure.
But it was fucking like you've never been. How many hands would you have to mulligan if you played 20 rounds of that deck? How many mulligan? Maybe just one. Are you saying?
Did you even? I mean, let me guess. You've mulliganed 1 charters, right?
No, I've kept 1 charters before.
Okay.
In my
with Howling Brave or without Howling Brave?
With Dread Harvest as well. Because there's a good chance with Dread Harvest you get a Howling Brave the turn. It's like 46% chance in that deck you get what you needed to solve your issue by turn 2. I mean, there's variances. I mean, and you can Pressure can attest to that. I do the percentages before I mulligan. Okay, I do calculate that, like the odds that the next card that I get if I kept the hand would be the what, and if it's like a 47-48% and it's guaranteeing me win because I got a good hand, I'll probably take it because that's good enough in my opinion. With Dread Harvest.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. But you never know. I mean, if I would have mulled that hand instead of keeping it, maybe I would have got the answers I needed to mull. You just never know. It's random. It's RNG. Can't explain it. And RNG and Hex is literally RNG to the max. So it's like, it's rough. I don't know. I just surprised it's so consistent for you. And it's good. I'm glad you found a deck. I don't think it's my deck. I guess maybe that's how I should say it. Not that it's a bad deck. It's just not my deck.
All right, confirm the Shoku deck that we saw on stream earlier is 7-0. That confirmed.
Yeah, I could see it. I could see it 7-0. If you draw and you don't have to mulligan and you got your answers, yeah, I could see it being 7-0 for sure.
Didn't he just lose?
The Shinhair deck with the incantation of savagery? Yeah, that's the one. And Emperor's Lackey.
You know, and that's different too. We don't even play that. So is that a better card to put in Shoku deck to fine tune it?
I don't know. I didn't make the Shoku deck. The guy who's number 1 on the ladder did. Not like that's like a significant argument to why the deck is good. But I played against him quite a few times, and I've played quite a few different decks this format, and every single one I felt like I was just getting beat by his. I was getting beat by his deck tons of times, and then I saw other people playing it, and I'm like, wow, this deck is just absurdly good.
Oh no, it's great. My problem with the deck, it's probably my luck, dude. So my problem with the deck is I'm unlucky. Maybe I'm just an unlucky player, and I felt like I was unlucky in Magic, but Magic I was never as unlucky as I'm in Hacks. Magic's like, oh, I'm unlucky, but I don't draw 7 shards in a fucking row. Unlucky, like it's shuffled. It's like, I draw 1. Oh, that's not the answer I need. I can't win this turn.
It's because we can't control our shuffle. I
Yeah,
don't like that aspect. I hate it.
I've run too many. When I first started Magic, I ran decks that had way too many shards before I really knew about resource curving and all the fine tuning you could do. I was very beginner to card games. It's my first card game, and I still never have gotten shard fucked as much as I get in Hacks. Even with a perfectly tuned, perfect curve where everything is perfect. And it's just so weird. It just could be luck, dude. It's just maybe my luck.
All right.